Welcome to Tech Morality. 5 key things that you need to change in Amazon's privacy settings. So the reason why this is important is because the data is about you. It's about your fundamental rights. It's your data. So Amazon shouldn't be able to process information that may harm you in some way, either today or in the future. So let's jump straight into it. So first things first, the easiest way to get to the Amazon privacy policy is to go on the Amazon webpage, and right at the bottom, you should be able to see a link here that says privacy notice. So click privacy notice, and then you get straight into this page here. Now the first thing you'll notice is at the top there's things like version control, and then they've set it out into these hyperlinks into different sections, which is actually quite useful. So they have lots of information that will be relevant to you and some information that won't be. But it's a very typical way of doing a privacy policy. It's a very typical format. One criticism of it would be that it's not super user-friendly. So if you look at Google's privacy policy, for example, it's very consumer-orientated, very easy to use. This is, it's been written by a lawyer, like most privacy policies are, and it looks like it's been designed by a lawyer also. So what choices do I have is really the key one here, and I like the way they've done this. So, you've got all this information here, which may or may not be useful. And then at the end of the day, all being said, what choices do I have? So you can just click this here and it gives you these links. So this is the key area here that we're going to focus on today. And we may reference privacy legislation like the GDPR, for example, as a point of reference, which is the European privacy legislation. So one of the key settings here, you've got communication preferences, very straightforward. It's just, your email address, phone number, those type of things, and any preference you've selected. So you may have selected to be contacted by email only. The first key one, or the first important thing here is advertising preferences. So if you click that, you'll be on this tab here. And you can show interest-based ads or do not show interest-based ads. It's completely up to you which one you select. I've got show interest-based ads at the moment, but you can change that at any time. Other key one is cookies. So this is actually the only place on the privacy policy I could actually find the right cookie settings. It's actually a really difficult thing to find. So it's on this paragraph here. You can consent or withdraw third-party advertising cookies. You click that, you get through to what we call the cookie preferences. Now this is in line with the IAB framework, so the Interactive Advertising Bureau framework on transparency consent framework, which is basically a framework designed for publishers, so you can deselect third-party cookies related to publishing. And they've got them all identified here, and then you can turn them on or off on this setting. So very useful to have, but it's the only place that I've seen on Amazon settings where you can reach this third-party settings. I think they have them off by default, but you just want to double check and make sure the majority of these are switched off. And actually, Amazon have been in trouble recently on this very issue. So the CNIL, which is the French Data Protection Authority, have recently fined Amazon for this exact thing. So not having the option to withdraw consent prior to going into the website. So they've already received a fine of 35 million euros for this exact thing. So this is a big issue, and it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward and how they change that. Best practice, and you've all seen it, are those cookie banners that are live right at the bottom of a page, and you can deselect cookies straight from entering a website and being able to update those cookies. So that's what you see as best practice. Amazon haven't done that on this occasion. So going back to the privacy policy, another key setting, and they're all listed as here, hyperlinked. There's like 3 here's hyperlinked here. So we've just done the cookies one. The one below that is your account. And this is how you actually do things like Article 17, exercise your right to be forgotten, and make sure Amazon deletes your personal information. So you can click that and you get through to manage your account. And you'll see right at the bottom here, there are some interesting settings. So you can request the closure of your account and the deletion of your personal information. So you're exercising your right to be forgotten under GDPR Article 17. Recommendations you don't want to see again. So all those recommendations that pop up on your viewing experience throughout Amazon, you can actually click them here and deselect those recommendations or edit them in some way by clicking that button here, which is another here hyperlinked. And then the next one here is actually your browsing history, which you could also edit and delete, which is also quite useful because a lot of those ads are based on your browsing history. So you can edit that as well. So that's another key area you'd want to edit. And I think the last important area, especially if you have like an Alexa device, you can click here and that will bring you to privacy settings for other devices. If you scroll right down to the bottom, going here, yeah, Amazon Help, Alexa Privacy. If you click that, you'll be brought into Alexa Privacy, and then you have various settings here which you can change as well. You can find out which skills have access to what data. You can review voice history and edit that as well and delete that. So they're all the key settings that I've seen on the privacy policy. So I hope you found this session useful. Leave any questions or comments below. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one.